All right, I want to go ahead and do this quick video, and I want to go ahead and talk about the wish frequency that I found earlier in the day. I was getting my cell phone worked on at a shop, and it got fucked up again. When I finally got back home and I wanted to record, which is indicative of, entity harassment. From what I understand, these motherfuckers, the people who I'm facing, I keep hearing bunch of Mexicans, Hispanics, but from what I've heard in the astral plane, it's a group of people, mainly white. I saw a big old fat German woman. Another one time, a peanut planter's head man who I was told by a very powerful guru lives in Santa Monica. And with that being said, these things are fucking with my head right now as I talk and trying to control me and all that shit. And I don't like that. I don't take too kindly to that. With that being said, I even heard from these dang spirits that, these motherfuckers are extremely envious and they don't like the fact that I started proselytizing about frequencies to use to be able to defeat them and defeat their plans and their evil entities. From what I understand, they want to energy harvest a lot of people's fucking consciousnesses. I got word in the spirit world the other night, that 5 other people are being harassed by this group of people. I believe that their name is, because I saw this in the astral plane the other night, the Temple of Evita. And that's the name of the cult out there in Malibu. Without going into too many details, I plan on doing a longer video in the future. The Okalas, along with Mickey Addison and all of them, they're very dark, evil magicians. I had entity attachments, of the Illuminati. At one point, they were actually coming around, and I just totally ran their asses off. I don't fuck with that. I don't deal with that. That were coming around to protect me, quote unquote, but really the energy harvest, really, really bad. I think their name is Temple of ILS. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and Temple of ILS is actually, I think, the real name. Oh, these things are really fucking harassing me now. They're trying to control me and control what I have to say, and I talk about that in the next video. It's really, really fucking bad. And I don't have any spiritual protection to really back me up and protect me from this. I'm all on my own. With that being said, all right, I just had a higher self remove some really, really evil at the top of my crown chakra that was preventing me from being able to speak fully and freely. Like, you can hear my frustration and all of that in my crying in the next video, where I'm being constantly harassed and inundated with psychic attacks and demonic, attacks coming from these roach attachments alone with these people's higher selves, the Okalas, Ethan Okala, Nini Okala, as well as Mickey Addison. But anyways, and it started to get even rougher the minute I mentioned Temple of Isles, ILES or something like that. Anyways, with that being said, all right. So, anyways, with that being said, um, I found some really, really weird stuff out there in Malibu, um, last night, as well as into the early morning. I want to go ahead and say to a lot of you out there, your higher selves, all the way up to your highest, thank you. Thank you so much for helping, man, because I really need the help. I know that evil ass Baron Samedi and what they call him, Alex Nacimiento, who really tried to fucking destroy my consciousness last night. I actually had to come up with a frequency to be able to get it back, if my consciousness is fucked up. And I believe it's either 112,000 or 113,200 hertz frequency, 112,300 hertz frequency. Another one, I think this is really it, 113,400 hertz frequency, along with 113,450 hertz frequency. One of those frequencies, actually two, are very effective for recalling stuff back to you if you lose your consciousness in the astral plane. When I was able to recover some stuff last night in the astral plane, I noticed that I had ancestors stuck in jars again. 156 hertz frequency is very effective for getting them out. These things are really trying to effectively ravage my consciousness, so I don't reveal a lot about them. But anyways, in the process of getting a lot of help from people's higher and higher selves, mainly off of YouTube and so forth, I had people from Malibu. I'm going to say this right now. From personal experience in the spirit plane, people in Malibu, especially up there, Topanga Canyon Village and all of that, are fucking extreme energy vampires. You don't want anything to do with those people whatsoever, if you can call them that. For energy vampires, you should use 451 hertz frequency to combat them. You put that shit all around Malibu and you have all them niggas running. 6,000 hertz frequency is also another very effective frequency to use when combating energy vampires like Baron Samedi. Not energy vampires, but evil people. I also threw Soul on an entity attachment of his in the astral plane one time. He tried to kill me in my sleep, actually twice. And I was able to block it and shut that shit down. But anyways, with that being said, a couple of weeks ago, I mentioned on here how in the spirit plane, I had some people, higher selves, they were helping. And They actually came to me in the spirit plane and told me that they found child pornography on the Okalas, along with Mickey Addison. And I did an article talking about how these people are active in child pornography. With that being said, um, and snuff porn too, they another. With that being said, they also have a designated house where somebody lives in, and that's where the Okalas live. I believe it's Pierce Avenue, 144143 or something. I keep getting Seacrest 17717. I saw her living in a beige apartment. Formerly, she used to. I also got a Pierce Drive, a Pierce Avenue. Yeah, I got Pierce Avenue, but I don't think that's the correct one. I'm trying to find out exactly where these people live. That's why I'm offering $100 to find out. Anyways, they live in a designated house of sacrifice where they make sacrifices to the God that they worship. Um, with that being said, those people from Malibu called themselves coming to help. And I knew they were on some bullshit. I got, I'm just going to spit it out like this. I actually got sacrificed out there in Malibu. And I'm being energy harvested off of heavily by a lot of people out there. A lot of my shit got stolen, whole 9 yards. With that being said, a lot of people get sacrificed out there, a lot of the homeless population. So, anyways, Howie Mandel, who's actually a pedophile in the astral plane, Alex Nascimento actually tried to set it up where, just like in the early days of this curse, he became my higher self, my highest self, my connection to consciousness, and so forth and so on. And me and my spirit team cut that shit off like really, really fucking quick. We used different frequencies, 925 hertz frequency, 369 hertz frequency is a really good frequency. That's the one that's really good for rebuilding you, along with 396 hertz frequency. I'm trying to think of the other one. There was another one that's very effective for putting the motherfucker back together if you get torn down. But these motherfuckers keep trying to fuck with my consciousness and all of that. Anyways, with that being said, they're trying to enter one of their entity attachments they placed in me from Mickey Addison's actually trying to energy harvest off of me heavily. One of his higher selves, I think one is named Peter Gomez. The other one is named Alex Beecher. Nini Okala's higher self, I heard from one of her victims, her current victims, that her name is Sandra Rosenweiss, if that rings a bell. Anyways, with that being said, he came to help, but he really came to energy harvest and steal a lot of my consciousness, especially the baby consciousness, try to steal my spiritual powers and abilities. I used to hear back in the day about how, like, a lot of white folks like to energy harvest off of melanated people. And there's a lot of culprits out there, who are big into that out there in Malibu. With that being said, he and a group of other people from Malibu came to call themselves helping. And I instantly ran them out. I said, I don't want any help from you motherfucking people. I don't deal with you people. I know y'all a bunch of child molesters, child predators, the whole 9 yards. As a matter of fact, I keep hearing from spirits that Howie Mandel is a pedophile. He really big into all that shit. If I'm not mistaken, he's really big in with the Okalas. You know, from what I heard, it's not confirmed whether it's true or not. Because my psychic abilities, I'm gonna be honest with you, is extremely sabotaged by these jealous, envious motherfuckers. But anyways, you know, it was one big fucking hellfire mess in my own head, my own mind, man. It was just hell, you know, trying to remove them motherfuckers, remove them, you know, out my consciousness so I can maintain a little bit of consciousness I got left. You know, I'm sick of having to rebuild that shit every single fucking night. I get attacked, like usually, you know, late at night. Their roach attachments, somehow I'm connected to these people, will come through. In the astral plane is through tubes. They'll come through with their higher selves, the energy harvest, and set themselves up where they connect and intersect, cross intersect with my place in the astral plane. So with that being said, man, you know, I saw in the astral plane at one point that, you know, I'm just gonna spit it like this: the Malibu Times, that woman that works there, all them people, you know, you hear about child sacrifice, child murders, the Matrice Richardson case. They all know about that shit. The guy, I think, manager at Nobu, all them people, they want to think of themselves like a small town, but they ain't. They all involved in that type of shady shit. And I'm gonna do an article about that in the future. All of those people are involved in that. You know, I got like a heavy sense of like they knew. They just knew. With that being said, Alex Nascimento, in the middle of the night last night, totally fucking destroyed my consciousness. You know, like I said earlier, you know, he's been trying to remove my child consciousness as much as he possibly can, replace it with some other person's fucking child consciousness, Nini Okalas, some weird fucked up shit. Um, you know, at one point he tortured and got my poor brother in the fucking hell realm from my brother who, you know, I'm still tied to from when I died in my sleep on August 22nd, 2022. That being said, this shit drives you crazy. He had pulled out a lot of parts of my consciousness. You know, they try to intimidate me into helping folks by saying, well, the people who are your enemies are watching too, and they're going to use your frequencies against you. And I really don't give a fuck. But with that being said, I was able to combat him. Use I believe it was one of them frequencies I named out. Maybe 11,200. I sincerely believe it's 1,113 400 hertz. as well as 1,113, 450 hertz. Now, anyways, with that being said, I've been experimenting throughout much of the day, and I found a wish frequency, and it's 1415 hertz, the same one that's used to write books in the astral plane. That's your wish frequency. Like I said, I believe in sharing. I'm not in, doing shit, because I want to be a God. I know I'm already an incarnated one officially, but I like to help other people out. I even figured out a frequency to give you godlike powers. Let me try to think of what it is, without people having to sacrifice people, because I don't like that shit. It was 1749 hertz frequency, and that'll instantly increase your frequency. Usually you get it from the surrounding environment, but you could take it and convert it into your own. I feel like the rhythm for this video is off, like what I wanted to say. But again, I have a whole Rolodex of frequencies that can be used for a curse like this. There's so much more I wanted to share and say, man, but, I did so in the next video, but my fucking consciousness kept getting fucked with by these evil ass entities. So, they're tearing apart, removing pieces of my consciousness right now as I talk. If you want to turn something into an entity attachment, oh man. This is some evil fucking heavy shit that I got on me, man. These things are fucking evil. All right. This is just too fucking much. It's heroin. Heroin having to face this. But anyways, 113 hertz frequency is very effective. If you're having an issue with an entity attachment that's been gone awry, come a roach attachment and so forth and so on, 113 hertz frequency can instantly put it back in its place and silence it. To reset something, 145 hertz. I'm going to say this right now. These things are effective because they're infectious. 613 hertz frequency is very good for combating that. 119.99 hertz frequency is also very good for combating that. To put yourself back together, there's frequencies you can use that are highly effective. One is 121 hertz, 123 hertz. I'll go ahead and say this right now. Anything that's like 123 is very good for resetting stuff, or 0, 1, 2, 3, 0 hertz. I hear these motherfuckers plotting on fucking with that frequency so people can't use it. You can use 11, 113 to combat that. You can use 113 hertz, 113 700 to 113 750 hertz to combat that. This is some evil ass shit. 101 hertz frequency is also very good. If you're trying to get knowledge on something, or if your third eye ain't working, 322 hertz frequency is very effective. There's a reason why the Illuminati subscribes to that. Along with 694 hertz frequency to see what's going on. You can see into the astral realm, what's done happened to a person, and you can use one of the various frequencies that I talked about. 3517 hertz frequency is good for bringing somebody, a spirit, back to life. I've used it before in the past. For instance, people have put my ancestors as well as myself through bone cutters and so forth and so on. And all you have to do is just use that frequency to go back in time, see exactly what happened, and then fix yourself back up. So that's another really good frequency. Another good frequency to use is 637, but 694 hertz is very good in 322. They can't take any of that away from you. With that being said, there's a lot more with regards to frequencies that I got to share in the spirit plane. The Akalas don't like people knowing about that. They want you to remain stupid and dumb about things. And they want you to remain isolated along with their evil ass, malevolent ass entity attachments. Another one that's really, really good, I believe, is 774 hertz frequency. That's very good for getting rid of negative evil entity attachments, along with 154 hertz and along with 134 hertz combined. And also, if you're dealing with possession, 11,810 hertz is very, very effective. 7748 to, I think, 7784 hertz is very effective for rebuilding a person. So anyways, I got another video that's a lot more traumatizing to upload. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. But, hopefully those hertz frequencies can help you out in the astral plane. There's a lot more, but I can't recall off the top of my head. Because I've had, during this curse, my astral body torn up, torn down, and then put back together so often, man, it's not even funny. It's fucked up that I got to do everything on my motherfucking own, with the aid of very few spirit guides, that's on my side. They're roach attachments, entity attachments, tuplers almost, that have been helping me and have been very, very instrumental in keeping my black ass alive. So with that being said, 1415 hertz frequency, that's your wish frequency. Trust me, that takes care of everything.